what's the best way to follow up with a content syndication lead? Because I'd imagine oftentimes the value of the lead itself has a lot to do with what happens after it's delivered.
It does. And, you know, I put this here because I'm a big believer in the sales versus marketing nurture cadences and building and working them together. I'm also a realist. In some cases, when I see this and spell this out, that maybe 25% of the companies that we work with currently, enterprise, mid-market, small business, can actually execute on this type of strategy. It's very difficult. It's actually pretty expensive. Takes a lot of time and effort, manpower, something that not a lot of people have, especially field marketers who are listening in the audience, and especially field marketers who actually have to translate content and do things in languages other than English. I know that this is a very difficult task. So it is by far the best tools is that you're actually building between a nurture and a sales cadence messaging. And the difference is, just to explain to people who aren't quite sure how to go about this, there's lots more materials on TechTarget.com related to this. But, you know, nurture and branding from marketing is a very important aspect that I think that everyone should be doing. And it builds brand, it builds pre-awareness going into your, you know, sales association. It helps with eliminating those people that maybe aren't really into researching 100%. And it actually gives additional engagements for your sales to feel confident about the follow-up and really putting effort into that follow-up. We do find that sometimes sales gives up maybe a little bit early in their calling strategy. And so if you have someone that's engaged with a few pieces of content, or at least engaged with multiple emails, you actually have some push to make sure that you can tell sales that this is an important person. We have to keep trying to get them on the phone to engage them. Sales cadence messaging, I think, is by far the most important. And if you were to do one of two things, and even as a nurturing specialist, I would actually go with the sales cadence messaging. This is a mixture of a rep following up via multiple points of contact with the user. And it does involve phone calls into that user as well. But it also has social media engagement, email marketing engagement. And usually it's about a 10-point process of information, if not more, to try and engage that person. It can be additional offerings. It can be a phone call to see, hey, what's going on with your research? How can I help? Are there any questions that are unanswered? And this is really intended to establish maybe a personal connection in the prospect's journey that, you know, is going to take the next upwards of 3 to 6 months to shortlist users to actually, you know, start to talk serious. So you do need to have that personal connection and that engagement with them on an ongoing basis. And that's by far the best thing that people and clients, marketers can do as an initial engagement with a content syndication lead.